Hello all. Today we're going to talk about the transit of Jupiter. So in June, on June 1st or June 2nd, based on where you're in the world, um, Jupiter is going to go into the star sign Cancer, in which Jupiter gets exalted. What that means is it basically gets its most strength. Um, so this is happening on June 1st/2nd. It'll go till the next June next year. There will be a period in between where it just goes into Leo and then comes back into Cancer. But yeah, that's a pretty small, I think 2 or 3 month window. So the majority of the next 12 months is basically going to be what I'm going to discuss in this video. So we're going to look at it from two aspects, even from your ascendant or your lagna, or we'll even look at it from the star sign as well. And when I say star sign, it's not the sun star sign that is in Western astrology, right? This is Vedic astrology. So your star sign is basically where your moon is placed at the time of your birth. So I'll show a couple of examples quickly. Um, All right, so that's basically normal how a Kundli looks. Obviously, the planet's not there, but that's the Kundli. So in a Kundli, I'll just go through some quick examples. So that will always be the first house, regardless of what number is written there. So the numbers are actually the rashis, the star signs. They're not the house numbers. So that'll always be the first house. That'll always be the second house, and so on and so forth. Um, the Rashi can change. I've mentioned that in my previous videos as well, that the Rashi number can change. So it could very easily be number 5 written there, which is a Leo ascendant. And it could easily be 9 over there, which is a Sagittarius ascendant. So the Rashi can change and then just increases counterclockwise. So yeah, when I say that this transit, we can look at it from two aspects. One, we can obviously look at it from the ascendant itself. So I'll tell you how it's going to be for Aries ascendant and Aries Rashi. Aries ascendant, well, that's it. Number 1 written in your first house makes you an Aries ascendant. But you can also be an Aries Rashi. Say there's number 5 written there, and number 1 falls in your ninth house. But if the moon sits there, that makes you an Aries Rashi. So when I'm talking about Aries, look at it from both these aspects, even from the ascendant and even from the Rashi. So for this particular Kundli, they can look at two of the parts in this video. One, they can even look at what effects will be on Aries, because this is an Aries Rashi. They can even look at what effects this transit will have on Leo, because it's a Leo ascendant. So that's what I'm saying, that look at it from two angles, not just the Rashi or not just the ascendant. So yeah, let's start. Um, let's start with Aries. That's the first Rashi. So let's start with there. So again, if you're an Aries ascendant or Aries Rashi, then Jupiter is going to transit your fourth house. Now, it's said that wherever Jupiter is transiting through, or wherever it's sitting in your birth chart, it might not give the best results, but where it aspects, it gives its best results. So so Jupiter has three aspects: fifth, seventh, and ninth, and we always look at it from where it's placed and then go counterclockwise. So if it's placed in the fourth house, let's go counterclockwise. That's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So that's the fifth aspect. Sixth and seventh, that's the seventh aspect. Eighth and ninth, and that's Jupiter's ninth aspect. So I will make this more clear, and this is how you calculate it for everything. And now I'm just going to make it more better. What I'll do is I'll highlight the aspects yellow, so that just makes it easier to see. So Jupiter transiting in the fourth house is aspecting your eighth house, your 10th house, and your 12th house. So what effects will this have in your life for the next 12 months? So fourth house is basically property, land, relationship with your mother, comfort of your life, any assets like cars that you want to buy, all of that. So that is looked at from the fourth house. Now, um, because Jupiter is transiting through the fourth house, you'll definitely see an improvement in all the aspects that I've just mentioned. So obviously you'll see your relationship growing with your mother. If if you're thinking to buy a property, it's a very good sign that this might be the year for you. But again, we have to look at quite a few different things. It's not just Jupiter's transit that promises everything. We have to look at the dasha as well. Dasha is basically your time period there. So transits is the same for me, it's the same for you, it's the same for everyone. Jupiter is in Cancer, but Dasha is actually different people to people. So Dasha is actually the main part we use for making predictions. Transits come second. So think about it this way, that without the Dasha, even if the transit promises something, you will not get it. But if you have a good dasha going on and promising certain things, but the transit is not favorable, you still have a slight chance that it might work out. So it's basically just that sort of a concept. So again, so yeah, I mean, but if the dasha is promising it, then the transit will fulfill that promise. Let's think of it that way. So yeah, definitely, good yoke to buy properties, relationship with the mother will be better. You'll just have more comforts in life, more luxuries. You'll buy more assets. You can even buy a car. And now it's Drashti, so its aspect is falling on the 8th, 10th, and 12th houses. So the 8th house is basically instant gains or losses. It's relationship with the in-laws. It's even astrology itself, like occult. It's gifts. So it's basically inheritance or other people's money. So you'll definitely see an increase in those aspects that I mentioned. So I think one thing if a dasha promises, this is a very good transit to win a lottery as well, for example. So because again, it's instant gains or losses, and the lottery is kind of other people's money. So and that's again the eighth house. So that's that. Look, the eighth house is actually a pretty bad house in that sense. It can even be accidents or major health issues. So Jupiter transiting in the fourth house is actually a good thing because its aspects is falling on the eighth house. It'll save you from accidents. It'll save you from major health issues. So yeah, that's this particular transit is actually very good because it's looking at the eighth and the 12th house. The three worst houses of a Kundli are fixed, eighth, and 12th, and this particular transit is looking at two of the three. So that's very good. Um, the other aspect falls on the 10th house. So 10th house is mainly your career, your relationship with your bosses, your recognition slash fame. Um, it's basically your your karam, like your actions that you take. Um, so by this transit, you could easily say that, look, I'm not saying it might be a promotion because promotion could even be an increase in income, but one thing is guaranteed is that you will receive recognition for your work. Whatever hard work that you've been putting in over the last few months and what you will in the next 12 months, you will definitely get recognition for it. Like if there are any awards or anything, again, non-financial benefits I'm talking about, but if there are any awards, you might be nominated for them, you might even win them. So that is basically promised with this transit. Um, then you got the 12th house. The 12th house is investment, expenses, sleep, it's spirituality, it's even jail slash hospital. So again, as I said, because this transit, because the ninth aspect's falling on the 12th house, you can be pretty certain that you will be saved from all of these, jails and hospitals and whatnot, expenses. So um, again, if the dasha is promising, say the dasha is activating the 12th house, what you'll find though is that you're not spending money, you're actually investing money because of this particular transit. So if the dasha is promising 12th house activation, this transit will make it a positive activation. And every house has positives and negatives. So obviously some have more negatives, some have more positives, but every house has positives and negatives. So this transit would make it a positive impact on the 12th house then. So yeah, that's basically what this transit will do for Aries ascendant slash star sign. Now let's move on to Taurus. Let's change that, and we'll get rid of the aspects. And now, because so if you're a Taurus ascendant or Taurus star sign, your Jupiter, the Jupiter is going to be transiting in your third house, and with that, it's going to be aspecting the seventh house, the ninth house, and the 11th house. All right, now this is actually a particularly a good one, I feel, because it's looking straight at the ninth house, which means an activation of destiny, activation of luck, activation of long travels, and just religious. It could even be more so religious long travels. So you might go to a religious place, for example. So that's what this transit is promising, that the ninth house activation will get you all of those results. Transiting in the third house is not considered that good for Jupiter, but it just means that, look, third house is hard work, communication, short travels. You'll definitely gain courage over the next 12 months, but it will be with hard work. There'll definitely be hard work in the next 12 months, but yeah, um, it'll be a good transit still, because you'll become courageous from that hard work. You'll definitely have more short travels if you working from home currently, you might then have to start going to the office. So that's one thing that this transit would promise. What else? Communication, that is something that you will have to again work on in this transit. But yeah, now let's have a look at the aspects. So we've already mentioned ninth house, but yeah, we've already mentioned that. But let's mention the seventh house now. So seventh house is basically just marriage and business partnership. So um, what that would do is definitely make your marriage better. If there are issues, you'll see that the issues might still be there, but it will get resolved easily. It will get resolved at the last moment. You'll feel like a divine blessing, and it'll just resolve. You'll start feeling more naturally, just more inclined to your partner, um, and even if you're thinking of doing any business, if you are already doing a business, you'll see that you'll definitely be making more profits from that. So this is in particular a very good transit for especially married life. So that's good. The ninth aspect falls on the 11th house. The 11th house is profits. And as I mentioned, like if you're doing a business, then obviously your business is getting better, but your profits is also getting better. So, yeah, it's 11th house is your profits, your desires, your elder sibling. It's your relationship with your friends as well. So all of that you'll see increasing. And like the desires as well, you'll have more desires, but they'll also get fulfilled. Um, and whatever desires you have had which are not being fulfilled, you now start seeing them getting fulfilled as well. So overall, it's a very good transit for Taurus. One thing, obviously, Jupiter in the third house in transit doesn't, I mean, it's not the best, but the aspects that it's giving are really, really good. So that's a very good sign. Um, let's move on to the uh, next Rashi, which is Gemini. All right, so if you're a Gemini ascendant or Gemini Rashi, um, Jupiter will be transiting in your second house, which is again a very, very, very good transit. Jupiter in the second house does well, and with this, it aspects the sixth house, the eighth house, and the 10th house. So let's firstly talk about the second house. Now, again, as I mentioned, when we look at Aries, that the three worst houses are 6th, 8th, and 12th. This transit is, with this transit, Jupiter is aspecting two of those three bad houses. So this is actually a very good transit because it will protect you from those the negative effects of those houses. But anyway, let's talk about the second house first. So Jupiter transiting through the second house could mean an increase in wealth. You'll definitely go towards dieting. Like it even means, your food habits. So Jupiter transiting there might make you focus more on dieting. Um, your speech will definitely improve, your savings will improve. If you are, and look, children are normally be seen from the fifth house, but I've actually seen that sometimes when the second house gets activated, that is also a promise for a child because that's second house is family and your family is increasing. So if you're planning to have a baby, then that might also, again, we have to look at dashas and other transits and how your birth chart is. But then if everything's promised there, then this transit is a very good one to even increase your family. Your relationship with just the wider family will also get better. Now, with the fifth aspect, it looks at the sixth house. The sixth house is basically health issues, um, debt, enemies, daily life, your job. So all of that you'll see it'll be better for you in the next 12 months. So the negative effects of the sixth house, you will not get to see that much of it because Jupiter is aspecting the sixth house. So you'll definitely feel more healthy. And look, this is the connection, right? And this is why astrology is so beautiful. Like second house, food habits, your diet will change, and then suddenly that will also affect the sixth house getting stronger. Like you'll be healthier, and so this transit will automatically do that. Um, Eighth house is, instant losses or gains, um, relationship with in-laws that'll get better. Any accidents or major health issues, you'll definitely be saved from those. This is a good transit to start learning astrology as well. So yeah, overall, again, if and again, I've mentioned that in the Aries part as well, that if you have combinations to win a lottery, then this transit is also promising that as well. Um, the 10th house, no, yeah, now let's move on to the 10th house. That's basically your career, your recognition, your fame, relationship with the bosses. So all of that will definitely improve. And again, as mentioned in the Aries part, this does not necessarily mean a promotion. It could, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. But it does mean that all the hard work that you have been putting in and will be putting in the next 12 months will get recognized. So non-monetary benefits in the workplace, you'll definitely see a lot of that. Like if there's an award, then you get nominated for it. You might even win it. So your hard work will get recognized. That's basically what this transit is promising. Let's move on. So if you are Cancer ascendant or Cancer Rashi, in that case, Jupiter is transiting in the first house itself, and this is very good because your first house is basically where the Kundali starts, and then everything is decided from your first house, which is your ascendant, your Lagna, which is you yourself. So it's a very good transit, and the aspects will be on those three houses, which is fifth, seventh, and ninth. Cool. So yeah, in this case, as I said, it's a very good transit. First house, it means it might actually give you, it might mean your weight increases a bit because Jupiter is a big planet, so it'll, make your weight increase a bit. But overall, life will be really good. You'll feel happy in your career. Your personality will get better. And you need to obviously work on the getting a bit healthy aspect because it'll definitely increase your weight. So work on that. Go to the gym, work on that. But overall, it'll be really good for you. It's aspecting the fifth house. Fifth house means relationship with children. If you're planning to have children, then this is a good transit. Um, it means education, profits through shares, investments. It's also romance or your love life. So all of that you'll see increasing. Um, if you're planning to have a child, obviously it's a good transit. If you're doing any higher education, this is a very, very good transit for you. You'll definitely study less and yet get the results you want. Um, Obviously, a good transit for shares investments as well. And if you're single, then again, if the dashas and your chart promises it, then you might meet your um, romantic partner in the next 12 months. So again, very, very good transit. It's also activating the seventh house, looking straight at the seventh house. So if you are already in a relationship, this is a very good transit that you might get married. The talks of, marriage might start happening. If you are, if you're planning to start a business, then you can also start that. What else? Yeah, seventh house is basically just marriage and business partnerships. That's the that's what this aspect will do mainly. It's also aspecting your ninth house, which is destiny, your luck, your relationship with your father, um, religious beliefs, and long travels as well. So as mentioned before in the video as well, that this will definitely mean that you will take a religious trips. Like you'll visit a religious place far away from where you're living right now. This transit definitely promises that you will see your relationship with your father increasing as well. What else? So that's basically this transit. And again, as I said, it's a very, very good one. Transiting in the first house means it's giving strength to the entire kundli or the chart. So let's move on to the next sign. If you are a Leo ascendant or Leo Rashi, then that means the Jupiter is transiting in the 12th house, and it will be aspecting your 4th house, 6th house, and 8th house. All right. Okay, so transit in the 12th house again is not the best, but it's this is one of the better. It's not the best for Jupiter, but it's actually a very good transit when you think about it, because this is, I think, the only transit where Jupiter is either sitting or looking at all the three houses, the three bad houses, 6th, 8th, and 12th. So Jupiter is sitting in the 12th, looking at the 6th and the 8th. So this is a very, very good transit for sure. Um, all right, so let's start with the 12th house. So the 12th house is basically investments, expenses, jail, hospitals, spirituality, donations. So you'll find that it y- again, not it won't be as nothing negative will happen, but because it's not a good transit for Jupiter, nothing much positive might happen either. You'll definitely see expenses increasing, but not to that amount that is considered bad. But yeah, expenses will definitely increase. You will definitely become more spiritual though. Um, what else? I think, yeah, you'll definitely invest more money because Jupiter in itself is a finance like planet, so you definitely invest more. So okay, now let's look at the aspects. So it's aspecting the 4th house, which means it's a very good transit if you're planning to buy a property. And again, the dasha has to promise it. Your chart has to promise it. But if it does, then this transit is very good. The transit will deliver the results of those promises. So 4th house again, yeah, it's your relationship with your mother will definitely improve. Your If you're planning to buy a property, your land, then that will also get fulfilled if the dasha promises it. Any assets or cars, same thing. You'll definitely feel more comfortable in life because the 4th house is more comfort slash luxuries. So you'll definitely feel more comfortable. The 7th aspect is looking at the 6th house. So that 6th house again, so it's one of the bad houses. So it's basically health issues, debt, enemies, daily life, your job. So all of that you'll see it, it'll just get better automatically because Jupiter's divine blessings is on it. So it definitely won't encounter any health issues or any major debt or enemies. And even if you do, say, court cases, anything, it will get resolved as well. So this is a very positive transit in that sense. Um, the ninth aspect is looking at the eighth house. The eighth house is again a bad house. It's accidents, it's instant losses or instant gains as well, for that matter. Relationship with in-laws, inheritance, astrology itself. So again, a good time to learn astrology if you're a Leo ascendant or Leo Rashi. So yeah, because it's looking at the eighth house, you can almost be assured that there won't be any major accidents or major health issues. You might even see your relationship with your in-laws getting better. Um, and if other people's money. So basically, if the dashas and your birth chart promises it, then it's a good transit for even winning a lottery or maybe even going to the casino and playing poker or something. But yeah, again, we have to look at the whole chart and the dasha and all as well. But the transit is a good one. Um, let's move on to the sixth Rashi. All right. Cool. So the sixth Rashi, so if you're a Virgo ascendant or a Virgo Rashi, then Jupiter is transiting in your 11th house. And by transiting there, it's looking at the third house, the fifth house, and the seventh house. All right. So this is once again a very good transit. Jupiter in the 11th house does well. So um, it's a good transit for Virgo ascendant slash Virgo Rashi. So 11th house is basically your desires or your income, your social network or relationship with your elder sibling as well, or your friends as well. So overall, you'll see that all these things will be increasing. So it's a very good one for promotion as well. If you're seeking a promotion, then you should more often than not get it. Like if the dasha and the birth chart promises it, then the transit will deliver that. So income should definitely increase. Um, and if you are now, let's have a look at the ninth aspect first, which is on the seventh house. Seventh house is basically marriage and business partnership. So your marriage will definitely improve. If you're having little fights with your partner, then that'll definitely resolve itself. You'll feel more inclined towards your partner. Just more spirituality as like more spiritually as well. You'll be inclined towards your partner. So that's a very good thing. But yeah, why I started with the ninth aspect first is because it even means business partnerships. If you have a business or you're planning to do business, definitely go for it because 11th house is profits. So your profits will increase through your business. So yeah, that's a good transit. It also looks at the third house. So the third house is basically communication, hard work, short travels, your courage, your relationship with the younger sibling, any marketing as well. So you'll see that you'll definitely work harder in this transit, but you won't feel like you're working hard because just this transit will make it an inbuilt thing that yeah, you need to work hard, you need to be more courageous, you need to um, start putting yourself out there, I guess. And it even means online marketing and all of that. So maybe you open a YouTube channel. So this transit will definitely do that for you. It's also looking at the fifth house. Fifth house is basically children, your relationship with children, education, profits through shares, and your romantic life as well. So if you're single, then this is a good transit to actually meet someone. If you are already married, then you'll still see that it'll increase your romance a bit. If you're planning to have a child, then this is a good transit for you. If you are studying right now, especially higher education, this would definitely mean that you are studying less but getting more results with this transit. So yeah, again, once again, a very good transit. Let's move on to the next one. If you are a Libra ascendant or Libra Rashi, then Jupiter is transiting in your 10th house. And from there, it's looking at the second house, the fourth house, and the sixth house. So Jupiter in 10th house is neither bad nor good, but this transit in particular is definitely a very good one. So Jupiter in the 10th house. So it'll definitely mean your career would grow. Jupiter is a expansion planet. So wherever it's transiting through, it'll just expand that a bit. So you'll definitely see your career expanding. You'll see that you're getting more, your karam gets better. Karam means your actions, your deeds, that will start getting better as well. So if if you have any bad intentions or anything, then you'll start seeing that getting better as well. You start getting recognized for your work, just and not just at the workplace. Actually, you'll start getting recognized outside as well, in your social circle, maybe. So, yeah, this is a very good transit. Your relationship with your boss would get better as well. Now, let's have a look at the aspects. So, second house, so it's a very good aspect to increase wealth, savings. You'll see that you go on diet maybe because it's your food habits, and a positive aspect on the second house means you start looking after your diet as well. Your speech will improve. Your your relationship with your family would definitely get better as well. If you're planning to have a child, again, I've mentioned this before in the video, but children is fifth house, yes, but second house is family. So this might increase your family. So that could even be having a child, or maybe a sibling gets married as well. But basically, an increase in family can also happen. Um, all right, it's looking straight at the fourth house, which is, relationship with your mother will definitely improve if you're planning to buy a property or land or any car or assets that, this transit is going to fulfill that promise if the promise is there in your birth chart slash your dasha. So then this transit will definitely fulfill that. This also means comfort as well. So if you this is actually a good transit for even working from home. Like you'll definitely see that you're more comfortable. You're living more of a luxurious life as well. So it's a very good transit. It's even looking at the sixth house. Again, this is one of the bad houses. It's enemies, it's debt, it's health issues, daily life, your job. So all of these you'll see Jupiter's ninth aspect will protect you from any health issues or any enemies, any debt, any court cases. So yeah, once again, very good transit. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. I think, yeah, Scorpio. If you're a Scorpio ascendant or Scorpio Rashi, I would say this is probably the best Rashi for this transit, because you'll see that Jupiter is transiting in your ninth house. Jupiter does very well in the ninth house, and the ninth house is basically the best house of any birth chart. So Jupiter transiting there is definitely very good. And from there, it's looking straight at your ascendant, which is you yourself. So again, a very, very good aspect that one is. It also aspects your third house and your fifth house. Cool. Yeah, as I said, this is one of the best transits. Jupiter in the ninth house will definitely increase your wealth. Oh, sorry, not your wealth. Increase your destiny slash luck. It'll make your relationship with your father better. It will mean more international travel. It'll mean travel to religious places. Um, Also, one thing I forgot to mention at the start, you would have got a bit of a glimpse of this transit late last year, I think it was between October to end of October to December, if I'm not mistaken. So you would have gotten a glimpse of that, of this transit, because Jupiter had actually gone into Cancer and then retrograded back into Gemini, starting early this year. So, but yeah, anyway, and the reason I say this is because um, I know someone who is a Scorpio Rashi, and she'd gone to a religious place late last year, and she's again going to a religious place far away from where she lives, in October this year. So, it's promising. What is promising, I guess, that it'll definitely mean more travel, and especially travel to religious places. Um, but yeah, and it's aspecting your first house, which is again doesn't get better than that. So it's the first house is just your personality, overall life, you know your comfort in your career as well. So you'll feel happy in your career, um, and just the overall chart just gets more strong. And unlike Cancer, where Jupiter was sitting in the first house unit, could give a bit of weight increase. This doesn't wouldn't even do that. So again, yeah, very, very good aspect, that one. It aspects the third house as well, which means your communication would get better. You won't have to work that your hard work will decrease. And even if you do work hard, you won't feel it. Your short travels will definitely increase. Relationship with younger siblings would be better. You'll be able to market yourself better. You know, you'll be able to put yourself out there a bit more. Um, and yeah, and then let's talk about the fifth house as well. So the ninth aspect is going on the fifth house. Fifth house again, children, your relationship with children. So if you're planning to have a child, this is a very, very good transit. It's also education. So if you're pursuing studies, especially higher studies, then this is a very good transit. Um, Definitely a good one to buy shares because you'll see more profits come through from shares. And it's also your romantic life as well. So if you're single, very good um, transit to meet someone. If you're married, you'll see that your romantic life in your marriage will get better. So yeah, again, as I said, I think this is the best transit, this sign. So congrats, Scorpios. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Alrighty. Uh, so if you are Sagittarius ascendant or Sagittarius Rashi or moon sign, then this transit falls, the Jupiter is transiting through your eighth house. It's not particularly a good one, but it has quite a few positives as well. So it will aspect the 12th house, the second house, and the fourth house. Cool. So Jupiter in the eighth house doesn't do that well, and that's why I said it's not the best one. But Jupiter in eighth house will definitely save you from, any instant losses, any accidents. It's also the eighth house again. Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery house. It's instant gains and losses. So again, this is a very good transit to learn astrology as well. It's inheritance, other people's money. But yeah, mainly the bad parts is accidents and major health issues, but Jupiter being there will save you from it. Um, so yeah, it won't do anything positive for the eighth house, but it won't do anything negative either for the eighth house. So that's a good thing. Um, with its aspects, it's looking at the 12th house. 12th house, as we discussed, is investments, expenses, donations, spirituality, sleep. What else? It could even be jail, hospital. So again, all of the negative effects of that particular house will get diminished because of Jupiter's aspect. So that's a good thing. One other thing, sorry, I forgot to mention is your Lagna Lord. Jupiter is actually the Lord of Sagittarius. That's going into the eighth house, which is again a bit of a negative sign, but this transit it will save you from most eighth house bad things. So that's good. It's also it's also aspecting the second house. The second house is your wealth, your family, your relationship with the family, your savings, your food habits. Again, expect that you might actually go on a diet of some sorts to, just if you're planning to do weight loss, you'll go weight loss. If you're doing, more so for muscle increase, you'll do that. But you'll go on some sort of a diet. Your speech will get better. Your relationship with the family will get better. Your wealth will definitely increase. Um, what else? Ninth aspect goes on the fourth house. Fourth house is so all of this will increase. Your relationship with your mother will get better. Your property slash land. If you're planning to buy properties and if the dashas and your birth chart itself promises that, then this transit will fulfill it. Any assets or cars that you're planning to buy, this is a good transit for that. You'll see that just overall life feels more comfortable. There's lesser hard work, I guess. So yeah, that's this transit. I wouldn't say it's the worst one, but I mean, yeah, it's not the best for sure. It's obviously wherever Jupiter looks, it's going to be great anyway. So this transit is actually, especially in exalted Jupiter. So yeah, this transit is actually very good for just in general for everyone, but some rashis will be better than the others. All right, let's move on to Capricorn. So if you are a Capricorn ascendant or Capricorn Rashi, then Jupiter is transiting through the seventh house, and aspecting the third house, first house, and the 11th house. All right, so Jupiter transiting through the seventh house. It's again, it won't do much good nor do much bad, but I'll probably say still a bit more positive. So seventh house is your business, partnerships or your marriage. So you'll see that you'll definitely start seeing improvement in those aspects of your life. If you're having, issues with your partner, you'll see that getting resolved. If you're planning to open up a business, then this is a very good time period to do it. And through its aspects, it's looking at the third, first, and 11th. So let's look at the third house first. Third house is again communication, hard work, short travels, your relationship with your younger siblings. So all of that you'll see will get will be improved. You'll definitely your hard work will definitely go lower. Your communication will get better. Your marketing, again, you start putting yourself out there a bit more. You'll become more courageous as well. So yeah, that's basically what's going to happen through this transit. Let's talk about the 11th house first. And as I'm saying, like, right, you're putting yourself out there more. You are being more courageous. Um, so you'll communicate more. So with that, the 11th house is your social networks. That will definitely increase. Your income will increase. And again, sorry, I won't say will. I'll say might, because if the dashas and your chart doesn't promise it, then the transit alone probably won't do it. But if it's promising, then um, this transit will fulfill it. So again, yeah, 11th house is your income, your social network, your relationship with the elder sibling, your desires. All of that will definitely improve. So you'll feel that you're desiring more, and it's actually getting fulfilled as well. So it's a very good transit for that. It's looking straight at the first house. So again, this is very good. It's the first house is where the whole chart starts. So it's basically the starting point of the whole chart. So it's a very good thing that Jupiter is looking at that. So it's protecting basically the whole chart in that sense. It's protecting you, yourself, your personality, your overall life. You'll start feeling more happy in your career as well, because the first house is fourth from 10th. So that kind of, that's your happiness of your career. So yeah, overall, a very good transit. Let's move on to Aquarius. So if you're an Aquarius ascendant or Aquarius Rashi, then Jupiter is transiting through the sixth house. And from there, it's looking at your 10th house, your 12th house, and your second house. So again, Jupiter in the sixth house, I wouldn't say it's the best, but it'll protect you from the sixth house things. So that's health issues, debts, enemies, court cases. You might feel you might see that okay, you're getting some health issues, but then you even getting out of it very easily. It's also your daily routine, your job. So all of these Jupiter will protect. You might see some issues, but overall, at some stage, some divine blessing will come, and you'll get out of any issues. So that's basically this transit. And from sixth house, it's looking at the 10th house, the 12th house, and the second house. So the 10th house is your career. So Jupiter's fifth aspect going on your career house is definitely very good for your career. Um, you'll get more recognition in your job. Your relationship with the bosses will be good. You'll start your karma starts improving as well with this. So if you'll start having positive intentions and thoughts towards your actions. So yeah, that's what Jupiter will do. So and Jupiter is actually, as I'm saying, it can even expand where it sits, but it can even suppress where it sits. So um, it could actually suppress any issues as well, like health issues, anything. So overall, it's actually a good trans. Like I don't think sixth house much negative will come from the sixth house itself, but even if it does, then it will sort itself out. That's what I meant when I was talking about the sixth house. Um, okay, the seventh aspect's falling on the 12th house. 12th house is basically spirituality, investments, expenses, jail, hospital, all of that, sleep issues. So all of these you'll see an improvement on for sure. Um, you'll definitely spend less. You'll have lesser sleep issues. You'll invest more, maybe. You'll get your spirituality will increase. Um, it's also international travel. Like 9,000 is also long travel, but 12,000 international travel. So you'll see that you might travel internationally. Um, all right, and then its ninth aspect is going on the second house. So that is a very good aspect. Your wealth will increase, your savings will increase, your food habits will get better. So again, you'll go on some sort of a diet, again, based on personal choices, that is. Your speech will get better. Your relationship with your family will get better. If you're planning to have a child, then this might be a good time as well. Um, what else? Yeah, I think I mentioned your wealth and savings will increase. So yeah, overall, this is again a very good transit. And now for the final Rashi, Pisces. So if you are a Pisces ascendant or a Pisces Rashi, Jupiter is transiting in the fifth house. And from there, it's aspecting the ninth house, the 11th house, and the first house. Okay. If okay, after Scorpio, if I'm to choose one, I would probably say this is a very good transit for yeah, for a particular Rashi like Pisces. I think it's probably the second best transit. Um, Jupiter in the fifth house is actually very good. What is the fifth house? The fifth house is children, your relationship with the children, your romantic life, your profits through shares, education. So if you're doing, it'll basically expand all of these things, right? It'll expand your romantic life. It'll expand your profits through share investments. So if you're single, this is a good time to meet someone. If you are already married, then this is a good time for your romantic married life. If you're studying, then this is again a very good transit for you to get good marks or get good grades. Um, what else? Yeah, if you plan to have a child, this is a very good transit. Um, your relationship, if you already have a child, your relationship with the children will improve. Okay, and then with its fifth aspect, it's looking at the ninth house. Ninth house is your destiny, your luck, your relationship with your father, your long travels, your religious travels as well. So once again, these guys, Pisces, Rashi, or Ascendant might see that they're traveling to a religious place that is far away from the house. The relationship with the father would improve as well. Um, just in general, they'll become more religious. So that's that aspect. The seventh aspect is falling on the 11th house. It's a good time for any promotions. Your income could increase. Your social network would increase. Your relationship with the elder sibling could get better. You'll see that you desire more, but your desires get fulfilled as well. So that's, yeah, once again, a very good aspect. And finally, the ninth aspect falls on the first house. And we've mentioned this before, that the first house is basically where the whole chart starts. It's yourself, like you yourself, it's your personality, your overall life, your happiness of your career. So all of this, again, Jupiter transiting through the fifth house, it'll improve all of these aspects of your life. So yeah, again, overall, very good transit. I'd probably say second best if I'm to rank Scorpio, and then I'll go Pisces. So yeah, that's basically Jupiter's transit through all the 12, sorry, Jupiter's transit in Cancer through all the 12 Rashi, or for all the 12 Rashis. As mentioned before, um, look at it from the ascendant and the Rashi, your moon Rashi as well. That would give you the best results. I've actually found this, that looking at it, like normally you look at it from the Rashi, yes, but looking at it from the ascendant, I've actually seen many times that the promise that's in the chart is always seen through like your ascendant chart. It's not seen through your moon chart. So the promises get fulfilled when you look at it from the ascendant. Whereas I've sometimes noticed that when you look at it from the moon chart, it's not any promises that are getting fulfilled, but it's more so that you start thinking towards that aspect. So again, look at it from both angles. If you're a Pisces ascendant but a Sagittarius Rashi, then look at it from the ninth and the look at ninth and the 12th Rashi aspects that I've mentioned. All right, so that's basically that. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please comment. I'll obviously reply. If you want to get a consultation done, then please get in touch. But yeah, that's all from me. Thank you so much.